In an age where language evolves at the speed of memes, emojis, and TikTok trends, even the most seasoned communicators can find themselves a little shook. Just ask actor and talk show host Mark Consuelos, who recently confessed with charming honesty that he often finds himself lost in translation when chatting with Gen Z. "I low-key don't know what they're talking about," Consuelos laughed during a recent interview. "Sometimes I think I speak English, but when I'm around 20-year-olds, it's like I'm hearing an alien dialect. But I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of fascinating." This humorous revelation quickly struck a chord across generations. After all, who among us hasn't paused mid-conversation with a younger colleague or relative and wondered silently, what did they just say? But beyond the laughs, Consuelos's comment speaks to a deeper, more universal truth. Language is alive, dynamic, and always in motion, and if we're not listening closely, we might just get left behind. The vocabulary of vibes. The language that 20-year-olds speak today is not just slang, it's a cultural code. It's not just words, but rhythm, irony, subtext, and delivery. Take a sentence like, "I was vibing with the fit, but then it gave major ick, so I bounced." Translation: "I liked the outfit at first, but then I found it unappealing, so I left." To the uninitiated, that sentence might sound like a scrambled Tumblr post from 2013. But for Gen Z, it's perfectly clear, and even artful in its own way. Consuelos, now in his 50s, says he's made peace with not always getting it right. "I try to use some of the words, but my kids immediately call me out," he admits. "Like I said something was fire, and they were like, 'Dad, please stop.'" And yet, he sees the humor and value in trying. "It's like learning a new dialect," he said. "Honestly, it keeps me on my toes." Language is one of the coolest ways to stay connected across generations. A tale as old as time, but make it slay. Of course, generational slang confusion isn't new. Every era has had its lingo that confounded the adults of its day. In the 1950s, teens were calling things keen or peachy. The 70s gave us groovy and far out. The 90s brought fat, dope, and all that and a bag of chips. In the early 2000s, everything was crunk or hella. Fast forward to now, and you've got a tapestry of expressions that can only be described as part absurdist art, part cultural commentary. No cap, sus, yeet, riz, delulu, 8, mid, slaps, ratioed, and that's just scratching the surface. It's no wonder Consuelos feels like he's learning a second language. But perhaps what's different today is the speed and reach with which this new lingo travels. Social media, especially TikTok, accelerates the birth and death of slang in real time. 1 month, everyone is saying cheugy to describe outdated millennial habits. The next, cheugy itself is deemed cheugy. Keeping up is less like studying a new language and more like chasing a moving train with a thesaurus in hand. Generation translation. Despite the confusion, there's something heartening about Consuelos's take. Instead of mocking or dismissing the evolution of language, he's curious. He wants to learn, and perhaps more importantly, he sees it as a bridge rather than a barrier. "It's fun, honestly," he says. "I'll hear my kids say something and ask, 'Wait, what does that mean?' And it turns into this great conversation. They'll roll their eyes, but then they explain it. And I love that. There's a deeper lesson here. Language is one of the most intimate forms of cultural expression. By engaging with Gen Z's slang, older generations can do more than just get with the times. They can tap into the worldviews, values, and humor of the youth. Take the word riz, for example. Short for charisma, riz reflects the Gen Z emphasis on social confidence and emotional intelligence over traditional attractiveness. Or delulu, which pokes fun at our collective tendency to romanticize unrealistic expectations, often with a wink of self-awareness. Words like these are more than passing trends, they reflect the mindset of a generation growing up in a hyper-connected, meme-literate world. And in trying to understand them, we're not just learning new vocabulary, we're learning new perspectives. The cross-generational comedy of it all. Of course, there's comedy gold in watching someone like Mark Consuelos try to use these terms in earnest. I told someone they had unspoken riz the other day, and I got the weirdest look," he chuckled. Apparently that's not something you say to your accountant. But it's this self-awareness and willingness to play the student that makes Consuelos so relatable. He's not trying to be cool dad. He's not forcing the lingo into everyday speech like it's a business memo. He's just enjoying the ride, cringe moments and all. Kelly Reaper, his wife and co-host on Live with Kelly and Mark, frequently teases him on air for his attempts. "I think she keeps a list of words I'm banned from using," he jokes. "She told me if I ever say, slay, again, I'm sleeping on the couch." Language as a living thing. At its heart, Mark Consuelos's light-hearted linguistic struggle reminds us of something profound. Language is a living, breathing organism. It morphs, evolves, and rebels. It reflects who we are, what we care about, and how we want to be understood. You don't have to master Gen Z slang to connect with younger generations, but trying can be an act of empathy. A small, sometimes hilarious way to say, "I see you. I want to understand your world." As Consuelos puts it, "Maybe I don't get all the words, but I love the creativity. I love that they're making language their own." So the next time you hear a 20-year-old say, "That outfit slays," no cap, don't panic. Smile, ask them what it means, and prepare to learn something new, even if you'll never say it yourself without getting roasted. Because in the end, the real riz is knowing that language may change, but curiosity, and a good sense of humor, is timeless.